Why is fear so crippling? Why does it make your stomach do backflips like it's on a roller coaster? Is there a way to be impervious to fear? Well, let's talk about it. Welcome to my channel. My name is Marcus and this is Rise Above. On this channel we talk about things that help us grow to the next level and things that help improve our mindset. Today's topic is how to overcome fear. What's the point of fear? Why is it even there? Well, from an evolutionary standpoint, if you saw a tiger in the jungle and it sees you and you're both eye to eye with the tiger and you're both just standing there, the first thing that you think of doing is nothing. Why? Because fear limits your options. But from an evolutionary standpoint, fear is meant to protect. When you see that tiger and it's looking back at you and you're looking back at it, fear says, my guy, you need to get out of here. Even though you may see other things around you, fear just freezes you and tells you as a warning signal, get out of here. So it's meant to help us, meant to protect us from things that could possibly hurt us. But today, it's kind of become a hindrance. Anxiety has become the child of fear. And with this, we become more disconnected. We isolate ourselves from people. We don't want to engage with people because of the many different fears. We fear fear in itself, and we suffer from fearing fear. We're unable to chase our dreams and our goals, all because we're not able to understand the purpose of fear. Let that help us grow. You know when you're on a roller coaster and you're sitting on the roller coaster at the peak at the top and it's just about to drop, and as it's dropping, your stomach starts levitating? That feeling is actually your organs being weightless because there's no gravity. In other words, you're not grounded. When you're not grounded, then fear seeps in. Now this fear that makes you hesitate and not prepared for the situations ahead of you is crippling. Why does this happen? There's two things as babies that innately we fear. There's only two things. A, it's the fear of falling, and B, it's the fear of loud noises. So translating that as we grow up, we fear failing in life. We fear being distracted by all the noise of you're not good and you can't do it. All of that encompasses our mind and we're not able to think straight, we're not able to succeed. If every other type of fear is learned, that means that fear is subjective. It's kind of like an opinion. Everybody has an opinion, but they're not all right. Fear means that things will change. Change is inevitable. It's gonna happen, and because of this, we know that when things change that we're not going to be the same, and sometimes we're not okay with this, and that's why we don't want to change. We're being held back by something that was meant to protect us. It's kind of like an overprotective parent that won't let you go outside because it's scared that you might die or get hurt or get hit by a car, but then you don't end up making friends. So it's for your safety, but it's also hindering you. Finding the courage to stand in the face of fear and face that lion that's about to eat you is half the battle. Fear, the beast, the monster, can sense that you're afraid. It will take charge because nobody else is. So stepping into the face of fear and being like, hey, I'm ready, I'm all here. This situation I'm gonna overcome. That's just half the battle, showing up. The definition of strength is overcoming things that you didn't know you could overcome. When we give power to something, it lives within us. So you have to take your power back. Another way to overcome fear is by changing who you are. A fearless person and a fearful person do not share the same body. They may have the same shell, but they're two completely different persons. A lot of the times we're so attached to who we used to be that we're unable to move forward. If you're playing a video game and you see enemies or monsters, that means that you're going in the right direction. When we feel fear, those are areas for growth. For me personally, coming on YouTube and sharing myself and becoming vulnerable is a big fear of mine, because I'm curious about how people will judge what I'm saying. I'm curious about if people will think I'm credible. I'm curious about the community that I'm building. All of that hinders me from actually creating videos because I'm negatively in my head and I'm overthinking and I'm not posting, I'm not being authentic, and I'm not being myself because I'm scared of what other people will think. Fear protects you. Yes, if I don't make videos, that means I don't get criticized. but then that also means that I'm not pushing myself forward and I'm not growing. If I'm able to get past that blockage of not being able to face the fear and feel the fear and grow through the fear, then I'm not going to become a stronger person. And I think that that's one of the greatest things that you can do, is becoming aware of what you're fearful of and then being able to understand that and grow through that. Without that, we grow up physically, but mentally we're still in the same stages. There's a lot that everybody wants to do out there. I know you want to do a lot and I can feel that. But the one thing that's holding you back is yourself. It's like your shadow self is pulling you back into the shadows when all you want to do is see the light and see a different perspective. If the voice inside your head isn't pushing you to become better, then it's not your voice. It's somebody else's voice and thoughts and programming that have been instilled upon you. Because think about it, you always want the best for your friends. If you were your own friend, wouldn't you want the best things for yourself? I think sometimes that I need to be perfect. I need to live up to this standard that me making mistakes ultimately slanders that type of person. I mean, that's not necessarily the case. I think becoming that person that you want to become is a compilation of the mistakes and the awareness that you gain from making those mistakes. You gain insight from facing the fear and knowing how to defeat the monster next time. If I always approach the same situation the same way, then I'm not growing. And I feel like you're not growing because you're scared of trying something new. Trying something new is the way that you grow. It's the way that fear gets caught off guard, because you take back your power. And when you take back your power, then you empower yourself in order to step one foot after the other and keep moving forward. You're not meant to be stagnant. You're meant to keep rising and rising above the situations, turning that inner critic inside me that's always analyzing and overthinking and saying that I'm not perfect, I'm not enough, turning that into my inner coach. Learning how to reframe, reshape, and restructure the patterns of my thinking. Encouraging yourself to be like, this is just a hurdle. Working out is a great practice for me, because when I'm able to overcome something physically, I know that my mental is also being challenged. If you have a strong psyche, you're able to overcome anything. But in order to build up your skill in mental fortitude, you have to put it through trials. Just as if you're lifting big weights, to get stronger, you have to go through mental struggles and challenges that will enable you to get strong. Try to really think of the person that you want to become and ask yourself, in situations where you feel fear, what would my future self do? How would he or she place themselves in a situation? How would they see the situation and really overcome it? Once you're able to silence all that fear, your higher self, the one that gives you direction and insight, is able to direct you. It's kind of like being at a concert and I'm like, yo, hey, but the concert's going on and you can't hear me. Even though you know what my voice sounds like, it's harder for you to hear me because of all the outside noise that's going on. So it's very important to limit the voice of fear and the voice of not enoughness. Once you're able to limit that, then you can really hear where life and your higher self is really trying to direct you and what path you're supposed to be on. Because a lot of us are confused because we hear doubt and we also hear purpose. And those two are very conflicting. So limiting those voices and turning the volume down will turn the volume up on the concert that is your life that you really want to create and the stage that you're trying to build. But without lowering the voice of fear, you're never going to be able to really get to the place that you're meant to be at. You don't want to be held and caged in by fear. You're a bird that's meant to fly. When you put a bird in a cage for a long period of time, it forgets that it has the ability to fly. It's all about your willingness. Your mindset is key. If there was that one bully that was push you around, push you around, push you around, until one day you're like, no, I don't want to take this from this guy or girl anymore. And the day you stood up, they had a different look in their eyes. They're like, oh, I didn't know this guy could do this. But because you stood up, they never treated you the same way that they used to treat yourself before, because you believed in your worth and you don't want to stand for this anymore. This is the same way that you should look at fear. I don't want to associate with you anymore. You've been treating me wrong for a long period of time and I'm tired of it. I want to be the best person possible and you're not letting me do that. So today I'm not going to be your friend anymore. I'm not going to help you. If you're hungry, that's it. You're going to starve and die. Say that to the face of fear and see if fear can get up back in your face and say anything like, oh, you can't make it. You can't be the person you want to be and your dreams suck. Let me know. I will come there and tell fear myself. I'm going to smack him in the face. Give yourself that power. Take it back. Take it back from fear. He or she doesn't deserve who you are. Don't let him limit you and belittle you because you've been friends with it for so long. Fear is nothing. Fear is nothing. It has no power. You've given it all the power. It's your creation. You can equally destroy it. So create the best version of yourself. You have all that power, all that strength. You have all the resources you need. It's all in you. You just have to stand up and be ready and be like, yeah, I'm gonna do it 110% despite what anybody else says. I'm here, I'm ready, let's play. We're coming first place in everything we do, working hard, accomplishing it, and becoming the best person that we're gonna be. That's the only way we're gonna grow to the next level, is if we become the best version of ourselves daily. If you guys need any help, let me know. I'm here. I will beat up fear for you any day of the week. So the question of the day, I know you face a lot of fears in your life. What are some tips and tricks that you've used to overcome fear? If you like this video and you got a lot of value from it, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, stay tuned and subscribe, and we'll be posting more. Peace!